Hi, I'm Rowena Gonzales, the founder of Liquid Interiors, and today we're here with Elsa Jeandedieu, French artist here in Hong Kong, and we're going to be talking about our work. I was inspired to be an interior designer from a really young age. Naturally, as a young child, I would make little clubhouses everywhere, and I had this urging need to express myself and spill it on all the surfaces around me. You know, every single time there was a crawl space or a closet, I would definitely decorate it all around. And then as a teenager, I was really lucky. My parents fostered my creativity and curiosity, and they let me just go crazy in the house. I painted the living room, I painted the bathroom bright red, I painted angels on my ceiling in my bedroom and wall-to-wall murals in my brother's room. So I had a lot of support in my creativity.
I somehow decided when I was maybe 12 years old, I want to become interior designer. I've learned how to make imitation marble, imitation wood, and trompe l'oeil. That's really very traditional school in France. And that's how I started my career as a special painter. But it was interesting how my parents really influenced as well my choice of becoming a special painter. My dad and my mom were running a company of painting company. My grandparents were running that company before. So it was kind of on the scaffolding since I was a child. I became a special painter. I was working for a company in Paris, and then I moved to Hong Kong. And I've been here for 16 years, and I'm still decorating lots of different space and enjoying my work like I started yesterday.
So post-COVID, I think a lot of people have a better understanding of how your space affects your mental and physical wellness. I think now more than ever, people can understand that your space, creating your home, actually creates a sanctuary for you.
Yeah. I'm obsessed with Hong Kong because of the energy we have in that city, but I'm also realized that being in Hong Kong, it's a bit suffocating for me because I need space, and when you live in a tiny apartment, because the rent are very expensive, that's something that you don't have in other places. It's one of the most expensive cities in the world. Then you end up living in a smaller apartment, and if you don't create that sanctuary, as you said, you feel sick very in a pretty short time. So I think that comes to the subject of nature is so important, and a natural element. It's especially in a place like Hong Kong, you need to bring that natural element to it to feel good. That's how I see my home. It needs to have lots of plants. I need to have those khaki greens. I need to have linen. I love plaster. I love raw minerals, elements, plaster and everything. So it's something that I guess for you in your design, you also consider having specific
absolutely
materials.
Biophilia, if you look at that scientifically, it actually has a lot of scientific reasons why it reduces stress. Even a picture of a forest in a room can reduce your stress rather than being in a concrete box. I think that's one of the great things about our both of our styles is that we bring in a lot of natural elements. We both love using natural materials like plaster. And the thing about biophilia is that it can be an actual plant, it can be a natural material like bringing in wood, but then again, it can also be something that mimics something natural, like your work. For instance, over here you can see that it's abstract, but it feels like
leaves.
And I think that it's really beautiful because with your work, you can get that physical
connection
feeling of stress reduction because of the material itself. But then artwork, it's different from just materials. Artwork, amazing artwork like yours captivates. You can go into a space and then all of a sudden you look at artwork and it allows you to pause, you know, and it gives you a sense of emotion and reflection.
I love painting my walls, and I really love like all kind of green shade, from very pale almond, which is in my bedroom, which is for me like very calming. And of course I have artworks. Living room will be white, but not always. And then I have a lot of khaki green in the kitchen and lots of plants as well. Imagine having, I have nothing against any color, but imagine having like a sharp red. Could be quite like energetic in the morning when you wake up, but maybe it's a little bit too much, right? In certain spaces, you will never put red in a bedroom, for example. So the use of color is so important, and I guess that's something you had to study as well as a designer, and how to, based on the client personality, will you pick certain shade of whatever, certain palette based on the clients? Will you still do your own thing and adapt a little bit?
So when we design, it really is about getting to know the client. And I think like as an interior designer, you know if you've done a good job when they come to see the final space and what they're wearing is like an actual extension of the space.
That's
And
amazing.
it really happens all the time.
That's amazing.
Because, you know, I did one for a very bubbly client, and, you know, she was a very colorful personality, and we put so much color into the space. And then when she came in on the handover, when it was all fully decorated, it's like, you know, this was
blending.
Completely unplanned, and all of the colors she was wearing matched the space.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, this is perfect for that person. Of course, there will be other people that would, you know, they're more of the neutral, minimalist kind of people, soft. And so we always pick up on their personalities and make sure that, you know, when they move into their space is actually an extension of their personality into the place.
Have you ever been able to design something with a specific color that you really don't like, dislike?
Yes.
It was painful.
Sometimes.
But did you manage to make it nice, that you could accept the final work?
Well, yeah, there always has to be like some kind of, you know, like blend of a client's kind of like ask, and then, you know, we bring in our professional opinion on how to make it work. But yeah, there's definitely been times where I'm like, that doesn't really go together. But then we have to somehow make it work. So at home, I also do a lot of things to help me de-stress. When I wake up in the morning, I love watering the plants. You know, that's my thing. It's my 5 minutes of checking in on things. And I love that because it's like, you know, watering your garden, I think it's important in life to, you know, tend to your garden, and whatever that is, like just maybe even if it's 5 minutes a day to just check on it and on things. I think wellness goes into another layer of the soul. And, you know, when you bring artwork into the space, that brings your wellness to a whole other level. If you can like choose the right kind of art that allows you to look inward, you know, and reconnects you with purpose. This is, I think, where you can really get the best of both worlds of, you know, connecting to like the physical things and also the more deeper meanings.
Yeah.